It was Halloween night, and a group of friends had decided to take a break from the hustle and bustle of the city by renting a secluded mansion in the countryside for a weekend getaway. They had heard rumors of the mansion being haunted, but they didn't believe in ghosts and thought it would add to the spooky atmosphere of the holiday. As they arrived at the mansion, the group was taken aback by its grandeur. It was a massive 3-story building with a sprawling lawn and a forest that surrounded it. It had a Gothic architecture and was made of dark gray stone. The mansion had an eerie feeling to it, but the group shrugged it off as the Halloween spirit. As they settled in, the group decided to explore the mansion. They found themselves in a grand foyer with a sweeping staircase, and a chandelier that hung from the ceiling. The walls were adorned with paintings of somber-looking ancestors of the mansion's previous owners, and there were also several rooms with ornate furniture and decor. As they explored the mansion, the group started to notice that something was off. They would hear strange noises coming from the walls and floors, and they felt as if they were being watched. The temperature in the mansion seemed to drop, and they all felt a chill run down their spine. The group tried to ignore the strange occurrences, but they couldn't shake the feeling that something was not right. That night, as the group settled in for the evening, they decided to play a game of truth or dare. They were all in a festive mood and were laughing and joking, but as the night went on, the game took a dark turn. One of the friends dared another to spend the night in the mansion's basement alone. A friend accepted the dare and went downstairs, but when he didn't return, the group went to check on him. They found him in the basement, sitting in a corner and staring blankly ahead. He was unresponsive and seemed to be in a trance. The group tried to snap him out of it, but he didn't respond. They took him upstairs and put him to bed, but he didn't wake up for the rest of the night. The next morning, the group decided to leave the mansion and never speak of what had happened again. But as they were packing their things, they noticed that one of the paintings on the wall was missing. It was the painting of a woman with long, dark hair and a somber expression. They searched the mansion, but the painting was nowhere to be found. As they were leaving the mansion, they noticed that one of the windows had been broken. They looked inside and saw the missing painting hanging on the wall. The woman in the painting was now facing the window and her expression had changed to one of purity. The group quickly left the mansion and never spoke of their terrifying experience again, but the memory of that night stayed with them, and they couldn't shake the feeling that they had been watched and followed by something sinister. They never returned to the mansion, but they heard rumors that it had been abandoned and that strange things still happened there on Halloween night. The group had trouble sleeping for weeks after their experience in the mansion. They would have nightmares about the woman in the painting, her somber expression twisted into a menacing grin. They couldn't shake the feeling that they had been followed and watched by something sinister. One of the friends couldn't take it anymore and decided to do some research on the mansion. He discovered that the mansion had a dark history. It was built in the 1800s by a wealthy businessman who had made his fortune through illegal means. He had been a cruel and ruthless man, and it was said that he had kept many secrets locked away in the basement. The businessman had a wife who was said to have been a kind and gentle woman, but she had been driven to madness by her husband's cruel ways and had eventually taken her own life in the mansion. It was said that her spirit still haunted the mansion, seeking revenge for wrongs that had been done to her. The group began to piece together the events of their Halloween getaway, and they realized that the strange occurrences and the feeling of being watched had all been caused by the ghost of the businessman's wife. The painting that had gone missing, and the broken window had all been her way of warning them to leave the mansion and never return. The group decided to stay away from the mansion from then on, but they couldn't shake the memory of their terrifying experience. They would often talk about it and share their different perspectives, but one thing was for sure, they all agreed that the mansion was truly haunted and it was best to stay away from it. Years went by, and the group went on with their lives, but the memory of the Halloween night stayed with them, and they knew that they would never forget the horror they had experienced in that secluded mansion. They would tell their story to others, as a warning to never underestimate the power of the unknown and the ghost that still haunts that mansion. The end.